Hello, hello. Am I live? Yeah, right. Checking the audio real quick. Okay, yeah, I can hear it. And Shivani will be joining in a little bit. In the meantime, I can just put music. Sweet. Hello, hello, everyone. Where are you joining from? Where are you located? What time is it? For me, it's 10:30. Oh, I want to sneeze. For me, it's 10:30 um, Eastern. Hello, Dunav. Nice to see you here. I feel like I sound weird. Maybe I'm coming with a cold or something. But Shivani will be here in a moment. Um, so yeah, who else is joining today? It's exciting because I think 4:30 p.m. for Felix. Nice. Hey Munav. All right, awesome. I think uh we kind of did a little bit of RPA and hyperautomation with Diane, Digital D. So why not continue doing that? So Shivani will be joining today. Oh, there she is. Hey,
Hi, how are you doing, Alex?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So yeah, I was just saying that we were talking to Diane last time, and Diane was doing hyperautomation as well. So yeah, like let's just continue the thematic, I guess.
Yes, I mean, it's so everybody's talking about it, right? And Diane covered a lot of great stuff. I was watching her live stream and she covered a lot of great topics. She covered the training that's being done. And today I'm going to keep it a little bit high level, but then I'm going to do some hands on exercises together. And of course, we can't cover everything in an hour. So we'll do like a Salesforce flow and then kind of figure out how parts of automation work. So just to kind of give everybody a kind of brief info, everybody's talking about automation and then hyper automation. So let's kind of at a high level review what they are. So from for the business, like right now, business environment is very competitive, and adding automation to the business processes is becoming critical, it's almost like a necessity for current and future innovations for business to do better, compete better in the current marketplace. So like when the automations are implemented properly, they can boost productivity for employees, so they're not bogged down by doing all the repetitive tasks. Once these repetitive tasks are automated, these employees can actually focus on business critical tasks that can help their business, that can help their customers. Automation can also create like a connected experience for customers, and that can increase customer satisfaction, and happy customer is always an awesome customer. So that is kind of another benefit of automation. And I would say the biggest advantage of automation is that it can improve overall operational efficiency for businesses, and that can help them thrive in a competitive environment. Now, automation can be done at many different levels using many different techniques and software and tools. But here we're going to focus on um, what Salesforce is offering. So, task like you can have automation done at a specific task level or a specific business process level or entire end-to-end business process, depending on how much manual work is happening or what the requirements are and how much business is willing to implement. The hyper automation is kind of taking it to a next level. It's to look for opportunity throughout your company to implement business processes, automation that can free up employee time so they can focus on business critical tasks. And this is, keep in mind that hyper automation is not like a one-time implementation of automation. It's like a whole, like a implementing a standard in your company to do better processes, efficient processes, and it should be done periodically. It should not be just a one-time project. It's ongoing, I would say, and it's almost becomes part of a culture, part of a company. And also keep in mind that not all processes qualify for automation. There are certain things that has to be done manually, and Salesforce tools actually provide some of the tools provide indexes that users can fill out and that can actually help you to see if the process qualifies for automation or not. Automation can be done. The Salesforce tools are like MuleSoft, Salesforce, RPA, Composer. They can be implemented individually or all together. And they can connect to Slack, they can connect to Tableau, they can connect to other databases. So all this together becomes a hyper automation. And I know the term, even though it sounds like it's a new term, but it's really the term to help businesses, and it's ongoing process that we would think that businesses would want to implement. So Diane recently kind of went over the whole detailed information of all different tools and then the training that's provided. So I won't go into too much, but what I was thinking to do was take one of the items out of this tool set and just kind of review it together. Just do a how would automation look like if you built Salesforce Flow, and then I'll give you some other tips. But I want the audience to come to World Tour New York in May. It's on May 4th, 2023, in a couple of weeks. Actually, just 2 weeks, actually, not too far. And I'm presenting a session there on automation, hyper automation. So we will touch some of those topics, but I won't tell it all because I want people to come and join. So let me see. Now, how do I share my screen here? Let's see.
You can click on present and select the screen.
Okay, so I'll select the screen. Okay. Screen sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Okay, sorry. There are some tips over here. Let me share the screen that I want to just share because I do have 2 monitors. 1 second.
Yeah. No worries. Take your time. And I love that you're using the ambassador t-shirt. That's nice.
Yes. Oh, I am a new ambassador this year, and it's exciting. Let's see. So I want to share the. How do I select? Let's see. How do I select the entire screen? Okay, I see the options now. Thank you. Thank you for being patient here.
No
I don't
worries.
do this often. Okay, so I think I'm sharing the right screen here. Okay. And let's see. So I think Diane did go over this, which trainings are available. So this is the training that I know it's pretty helpful. And Before the training, if possible, you should try to do this pre-work trailhead, and that's very helpful as well. So let's go ahead and I'm going to bring in the screen. Oh, I do want to share one screen that kind of shows all the automation components. This is a helpful screen to see. So I think these are like you have flow orchestration, you have Salesforce flow, credentials, Einstein chatbot, other external services. That's all part of a Salesforce. And then you can have the connected app from Salesforce to MuleSoft. And here you have all the MuleSoft components. And then MuleSoft Composer is kind of like tying all together. So this is a high-level picture that's pretty helpful. Let's go ahead and, so today we're going to focus on Salesforce Flow. Like how can you, it's just one of the component of automation. So I'll go ahead and do hands-on exercise, which is actually part of one of the trails I did in past. So it's a great way of learning. Let's go ahead and log in. Actually, I might even have the screen open. So let me see if I can bring that screen over. Okay, perfect. So before I jump into doing this exercise, let me show you what is the final output of the exercise. So the other use cases, customer service rep is helping a customer. They're having some type of an issue and they're calling the company to report the issue. When customer service takes in the call, this case gets created automatically. So let's go back. So this is the Salesforce accounts. I'm going to go to Salesforce accounts, and here's the contact. Here's the account that someone from this account contacted the customer service, and customer service representative talked to them and took in a case. So here's the case. And this case was automatically created. So for this process to work, we're going to create a Salesforce flow. So let's do that part now. So in Salesforce, let me start from the beginning here. So in the setup, you would go ahead and look for flows. And for this process, we're going to create a new flow that's screen flow, so that user is actually using it, inputting information. So we'll go ahead and create that. Now here in the flows, we're going to ask user to say some information when they take in the call from customer. So for that, we're going to add an element, and that's going to be the screen element. Here on the screen element, let's go ahead and add the information that is necessary for a case that customer provides and the customer service representative takes in. So here we're going to say, let's call this questions. We can call it questions, we can call it case details, but let's just call it questions. Okay. And we're going to get a large text to add description of the issue that customer is reporting. So here we can say text, and it should give me different options for input. We'll go ahead and select the long text area. Okay. And we can also actually put in some display tasks that's helpful for the customer service rep. So we can do that. Let me go ahead and add that. Okay, so for that, it's going to be display text. So we can say, go ahead and take the display text and add that. Okay, and display text could be something Okay. I'm going to copy over some of the items I had on the other screen so that way we'll expedite our. Okay. So I don't have to say it all or type it all. Okay. So here we can say this text, that's just the API name that's used in the background. Okay, so that's what comes up. This long area, we can call it, we can put that as problem description, what customer is reporting. So let's call that problem description. And for API, we want to name API a little bit more user-friendly because later on, when you are creating the case, you're going to use this API value. So let's call it a screen description. So this is what, and let's make this a required field because we do want to make sure customer service rep is capturing this. Okay, so now it's a required field. So that's our problem description. Let's get a case subject. And for that, we don't need a long text area. We can just take something like that. And then we'll call it a case subject. So I don't know if anybody has any questions so far, but I'm going to go ahead and keep entering detail, Alex, here. You let me know if anybody has any questions, okay?
Not yet. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. So here we're entering our screen subject. And again, let's make sure this is a required field. Next, let's do something different. Now we have two fields. Let's make this a little bit interesting. Let's get a toggle in here to see if the case if customer service has resolved the case right while they're on the call, or this is something that needs a follow-up. So here we're going to call it a API name. Let's call it a closed case. And then the label, we're going to say this is the label that shows up above the fields or the next to the fields. So let's see if we can put something a little bit more detailed. So that says if the customer's problem was resolved or not. If the label is active, we're saying it's been solved, problem resolved while they were on the call with the customer service. Okay, hold on. And inactive label means it's not solved. Okay. So we got this fields. Now we're going to add two more items. And here I'm adding these two more items is because we have limited time and I can't automate the whole thing without knowing the account ID as well as the contact ID because case belongs to an account. So let's add two more input fields, and these are going to be text. And the first one, we're going to call it account. If I was using Einstein chatbot or other automations, this could be automated. But right now, we have limited time, so I'm just going to input this values as something kind of like a hard-coded for now to demonstrate this process. So screen account ID, and it is required field. And then let's also add contact ID. And let's also make that a required field. And let's be done with that. So now what you're seeing here is we have a new um, component created here, a new element created for screen. And let's look at what we did. So we have element here for screen. We're going to add one more to actually, so this part, what we did here is captures the information from customer. Now we need to actually create the case using the values that are entered. So for that, we're going to add another component, and that is to create records. So here, let's call this create case. Okay, so we're going to call this one as create case. It's going to create one case, and it's going to use separate resources and values that we have on the screen. So we're going to select that. Here, we're going to select which Salesforce object is being used. So it's going to be case object. So let's go ahead and select case. Now, this is where we're capturing all the values we need to create this case. So here we're going to select account ID. And you can go ahead and select the one we created for the screen. So that's why it's nice to have it labeled as screen account ID. Then let's go ahead and select contact ID. And if you have a lot of fields, you can actually search there as well, contact ID. Then we're going to select description of the case, and that's going to be screen description. And then we can also have the subject, and that's going to be the screen subject. Now, one field is going to be interesting because we didn't create the formula field yet, but I'm going to go ahead and enter that here, and then we'll go out and create a formula field. So let's, the status. Because we're using this toggle, and we can't just straightforward use the toggle value directly from the screen. We need to transform that value into true false. So here, I will not be able to add this field until I create a formula field. So let's go ahead and delete this one for now, and then say done. But we'll go back to our manager, and we'll create a new resource, and this resource is going to be a formula. Okay. And I'm going to copy paste the formula so I don't have to hand type it. We're going to call this formula, and it's going to be from status. Okay. Nice thing here, you can actually check the syntax, and it seems like it's not liking something here. It's invalid. So let's look at the data type. I missed entering the data type. So let's go ahead and select text and check the syntax again, and now it's valid. So if the close case value is true, then the case is going to be closed. Otherwise, it's going to be marked as new. So that's where the formula field comes in handy. I'm going to go ahead and say done. Go back here and add our list of fields. So let's go ahead and select status here. And this time, we're going to select our formula field. Okay, now it's done. So what we did so far is we have our screen element where we're capturing the information about a case, and then using this information, we're creating a case. Okay, so this is going to be creating one case, and it's taking in all the data that we have on the screen. Okay, let's say done. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and let's call this customer service. Now it's saved. Let's activate it, and we're going to run it. Any description, right? This is our test. So customer service can say, thank you for calling Useful Products R Us Inc. We're sorry you're having trouble, blah, blah, blah. Let us know the description. Okay, so here's a description. Okay, let's call it the new phone can't be activated. I guess that's the case subject, new phone. If I can type right here, can't be activated, new phone is not working. What are my options? Blah, blah. Okay, and customer service is going to ship out a new phone. They can put some comments here. And they can, right now it's not solved, let's make it solved. And here, because we're doing this on the fly without further automation, we're going to actually enter the account ID of the customer and their contact ID manually, just for now. And those are required fields. So when I go ahead and complete it and say next, I should be able to go into Salesforce. Let's go in here, go into cases. I should be able to see a new case that we just created. The new phone can be activated. That's the case we just created. So that's how screen automation flows work. And the status is closed.
That's so cool.
So now this can really be changed to use Einstein chatbot, and we don't even have to involve customer service representative. It could be all done by customer entering their information and getting an answer. And if answer is not available, then it can be transferred over to the customer service. So, but for that, you have to come to the New York World Tour. So I can share that with you all.
Smooth way of putting it in.
Right. I had to kind of tell them,
Yeah.
The World Tour to get more answers.
Well, it's nice to see that the demo worked at the first try. That's like a record here.
You know what? Last time when we were on, I was trying to do something with Composer, and I remember it did not work. We were trying to debug on the fly, and it was challenging. But yes, this time it worked.
Yeah.
Like
The
that.
normal thing is that it doesn't work.
That's right. So, by the way, Alex, congratulations on your book. I bought it. It's a really good book. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. So then I have a question though. What is the difference between uh, flow and composer? Because it looks very similar to me.
Right. So the flow, I think the composers uh, can be multiple flows, and you can have like a whole, you can implement multiple flows and have a process with it. Versus what I just did, it was a one flow that ran. So,
Okay.
and
Oh, and D is saying bravo. All right, cool.
Alex,
Yeah.
so I was gonna ask you, what are your plans? Are you planning to visit the world tour this year?
Not yet. I'm having some issues, but maybe the next time that we have something, I'll be there. Because New York is
Okay.
so close to me, like I can just go there. Now that I live in Niagara Falls, it's like 10 minutes away from the border. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, yeah, it's right there. um, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go, but hopefully I will go to Dreamforce so we can meet there if you go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, last year I skipped Dreamforce, but I think I'm ready for this year. We definitely have to
Nice.
get together. And if you're ever in New York area, please call me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's so close. Maybe I will do a road trip sometime. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So, are there any questions from the audience? They're just saying cool, great. Um, let us know what else do you want to see. Is that the demo, Shivani?
Yes, that was the demo. And then, yes, I can, I mean, of course, World Tour is going to be a lot more components all to tie together. But maybe after my World Tour, maybe I can bring over that demo and show it again, kind of piece by piece on how the use case works.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for
You could,
sure.
yeah,
Is there anything else
definitely.
that you want to try? We still have some time if you want to maybe go rogue and try something else that's not on your demo.
Okay. You know what? Let me talk about the trailheads because a lot of these items that I did, I learned through trailheads. And coming from MuleSoft um, training, I really find trailheads is very helpful. And also, kind of like you're not going into entire course at once. If you have even 30 minutes, you should be able to do components of the different parts of trailheads. And I really enjoyed doing that. Maybe I can talk about that a little bit. Let me see. So let's see if I'm going to log into Trailhead.
Are you a ranger by now?
I'm working on it. Yes, I